I don't even know how to start this, but today the world lost one of the most influential, prolific, expressionists, movie directors, musicians, even though his music wasn't really that great, but
Burn so bright, it's love's delight.
one of my biggest influences in life, man. I grew up watching his movies, obsessing over his movies, constantly taking notes on them, watching all sorts of videos, trying to dissect it and figure out, what is this movie trying to tell me? You know, and you spend months, years down the rabbit hole until you finally realize, you know what, maybe maybe it's not supposed to mean anything.
When you get ideas.
Ideas are so beautiful and they're so abstract, and they do exist someplace. I don't know if there's a name for it, and I think they exist like fish, and I believe that if you sit quietly like you're fishing, you will catch ideas.
We lost David Lynch today, man. Who else is left, man? I mean, that's everyone that's worth it is dead now. And forgive my voice. I just got over a terrible flu, cold, lost my voice. That's why my last couple videos I sound like fucking Barry White. And as much as I'd like to be crying, I poked myself in the eye before I came into this video, so it looks like I've been crying, which is appropriate because I feel like crying. David Lynch is the reason I even have a camera to turn on, that I even wanted to do this. For real. He brought a renaissance to filmmaking. In my studio, I have this poster hanging up. I've had this poster for over 10 years. It's one of my favorite movies. I've spent over 20 years dissecting that movie, trying to figure out what it's about.
Por tu amor, llorando, por tu amor, luego.
And after 20 years, it's somewhat of a metaphor of the casting couch in Hollywood. And how crazy that David Lynch is dying now that all this stuff's coming out about Weinstein, Diddy. You got all these people that are getting exposed. But David Lynch used his movies to kind of create a puzzle for you to solve in order to understand the dangers of the show business. And his movies were always surreal. He was a surrealist filmmaker. But I have a story of, I got into a car accident a few years back, about 6 years ago, and I got a severe concussion. But one thing that kind of helped me during my time, especially when I was recovering from my concussion, was Twin Peaks Season 3. Because it's so out there and all over the place that it's tailor-made for someone with a concussion. While you're just trying to figure out what's going on, you got a show that makes zero sense, but makes all the sense in the world at the same time. It was perfect.
Do you really want to fuck with this?
So this scene right here from Twin Peaks Season 3, it's insane. Ben Horn, who runs the lodge, Audrey's dad, his grandson, Richard Horn, ran over a young boy, and he gets the news delivered to him, and his reaction is pretty insane. He goes on this diatribe about a bicycle he used to have.
There's no easy way to say this, Ben. Your grandson, Richard, was the one who ran over and killed that little boy.
Oh, my God.
And it looks like he tried to kill the only witness who saw him do it. Nursery school teacher. She's in intensive care. No insurance. Desperately needs an operation. I'm sorry, Ben, to bring you this news. Good to see you again. Wish it was under better circumstances.
My grandson killed that little boy.
I am so sorry.
I remember
I remember writing. My father got me this old Schwinn, secondhand. He painted it green, got a new seat for it, two-tone green, kind of a lime green and a deep forest green.
This is why I
Fat
love
tires.
David Lynch.
Oh, it was so hard to ride, but I love that bike.
I love that bike.
I love that bike. I'd ride with my friends.
And that's the beauty of David Lynch. You take a scene that's so serious about a young boy dying, and then he just throws in, I call them farts, you know, brain farts. I don't know, man. I would call them farts because it would just be like, you know, a serious moment, and then next thing you know, just someone farts. Random as fuck. And that's why I love David Lynch. Not everyone's going to get it. And I don't expect him to get it, but man, that was brilliant. And scenes like that are incredible, especially if you're high or if you have a concussion or whatever, and you don't know what the hell's going on. But that's why I love David Lynch, because he has such random moments and serious moments. He could have a really serious narrative going on, and then just some random ass shit will happen. But that's why I loved him. And that's why I believe a lot of people loved him too. A lot of people are affected by this today. And if you love David Lynch, let me know in the comments. Tell me what some of your favorite movies of his are. He's got plenty. Blue Velvet, Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, Inland Empire, Dune. Yeah. Elephant Man, Wild at Heart. Man, he had some bangers. R.I.P. David Lynch. You made my world and many others' worlds very colorful. So salute. And to the rest of you, be safe, have a good night, and God bless.